Puff, finally, your source for esports racing is live. And Papa Gooch, I hope you're watching down at us and just laughing at the follies that Todd and myself had going because we are finally ready, set, ready to rock and roll here live tonight with a very a very special edition of Full Velocity TV, I should say. Phil LeCass here, along with Todd Stanton over at ASRacing once again here tonight. The Carl Ragucci Memorial Race, old Papa Gooch that we lost here just a couple of short weeks ago. We were just here, it feels like, for the Walt Coburn Memorial just about a week and a half ago, and less than 2 weeks later, we're back out here paying homage to yet another fallen driver to the ASR clan. So welcome aboard live tonight via YouTube Live. Phil and Todd here tonight, live. Todd in Daytona, of all places we come to, in the cars and the stars of ASR. They're already locked and loaded, ready to go gritting up there. How the heck you doing, partner? Ready to lock and load, I think. Finally, 30 minutes late, but they say better late than, I guess, whatever else.
Yeah, definitely was ready for Daytona tonight. Some hiccups with links and different things that were going on here this evening, and other broadcast things going on. Lots going on here in the Full Velocity Racing Network land, but I think we've pretty much got it locked and loaded for the rest of the evening. We should be all right, and just waiting for these guys to roll off the starting grid.
Yes, they are. The command to fire engine's just been given, so let's take you a gander to our starting lineup. Looks like 22 trucks in the field here tonight. We are trucking out here tonight in Daytona. On the pole, aboard car number 43, old friend Bob Dixon. And on the pole, it's going to say 12 on the screen, but he's in the 013 Papa Gooch machine. That is a slingshot Gary Mingus. In row number 2, aboard car number 38, that is Willie Z. And alongside the number 87, that is Bradley Burke. In the third row, our old buddy DP, Daryl Pace, rolls off next aboard truck 17. And alongside Don Dolson aboard truck 98 rolls off from the 6th starting position. In the 7th starting position, row 4, we find Bergie, the number 81, rolling off the inside. And Smitty 3, aboard the number 3, he rolls off of the outside of row 4. Chris Elliott will bring truck number 9 from position number 9, but Stanley in the 05, he'll roll off 10th. In row number 6, the 439 of Todd Wilson with the number 8 at Slowpoke. Aboard truck number 8, ASR Postal, Nelson Rodriguez rolls off 13th in the 7. And old DC David Shin aboard the 88, he'll roll off 14th. 15th starter will be Manny Diaz in the number 710. The 060 of Dean Gutschrow. We have the Dinger out there, Wayne Madinger in the 72. Sunday Trip Autry waits in the 416. Tyler Hunter in the number 70. Ed Vaughn, Robin Hudson in the 4, and Jimmy Johnson's 48. Todd, we're already racing off down to the turn number 2 here at Daytona on the opening lap and ready to rock and roll here. Trucking tonight here in Daytona. This is going to be a lot of fun.
Definitely going to be a lot of fun here this evening. Bob Dixon assumes the lead there. It's a slingshot, the good old slingshot Gary Mingus, and not able to get up through the gearbox as quickly as he'd like there in that 013 machine. Like you said, it's going to be saying he's 12 on the screen, but his paint scheme is 013 here this evening. The number 38 machine of Willie Z right now running in that second spot. Third is the number 17 of Daryl Pace. So Pace working over the bottom side too here at Daytona. These guys pretty much locked and loaded on the bottom. Does not look like the high side is doing anything as of yet, but I look for the high side to be pretty strong here later in this event.
I completely agree. Gary Mingus is going to be the first to pull that outside lane out there in Papa Gooch's truck. We're out here tonight paying honor to Carl Ragucci, old Papa Gooch, who drove that 013, mainly Radisson Hotel sponsored machine out there for a long time. Now he's got Bergie up there in the 81 rolling on the outside. So those two trucks going to try to make something happen up there. Chris Elliott's number 9 going to fill the gap. You got Smitty in the 3, but the outside lane starting to roll there, Todd. They're about running 3rd and 4th, but more trucks starting to roll up there. We have a race to the lead here before too long. We're working lap number 3 of 70.
Yeah, these guys are pretty much 2 by 2 by 2 as Daryl Pace now jumps up, like you said, to the top side there in front of Bergie. So see if Pace is going to be able to lead that outside line to pay dirt here. The number 17 Caterpillar sponsor machine works down the back straightaway here right now, fighting for that 4th spot. Outside line just not going anywhere as of right now. These guys jucking out of line just a little bit more there. The number 9 machine of Chris Elliott goes to the top shelf of the speedway. And that machine trying to push, I believe that's Willie Z in that number 38 machine. We're heading the top line. These guys are not tight together like the bottom line. It's going to be very difficult there, Phil. I'm one that likes to go up top. You don't see the checking up as much, but if you get too many trucks up there, you will see that check up. But I'm not wanting to keep it on the bottom. It's really difficult sometimes to keep these things tucked to the bottom.
It really, really is, especially with the checkup, as you said. That always seems predominant there on the bottom. The top lane, usually the place to go to avoid that checkup, and that is Willie Z and Chris Elliott right now in the number 9. They work the outside lane to almost perfection right now, but Bob Zixon's 43 continues to lead. It is Smitty down low, the number 3, rolling on the inside. He's that second truck in line, trying to put Bob Dixon out to the race lead. Willie Z now looks like he may, thought he was going to take a peek there through the little gap there behind the 3 truck. He thought a little better of that. Elliott going to still roll there for 4th, and Todd Wilson's number 439. Todd having a good run here at Daytona. Who would have thought it? Todd Wilson up to that 5th spot in that Verizon machine.
Yeah, Todd Wilson doing a fantastic job. Always one of my picks here to win the races when we come over here. It's fantastic to see Todd Wilson doing a good job here. Got to hence the name out there, Todd, ASR Todd out there. So you got to see that's going on. But the 43 of Bob Dixon still continues to lead. He's led all 4 laps so far. So we're right now on lap number 5 of 70. As these guys trucking along, like you said, Phil, down the back straightaway here to turn number 3 at Daytona. Is a 38 leading the outside line. That's Willie Z. The number 9 tucked right up and behind him. Chris Elliott. They flash by the camera. Oh, contacted. Around goes Chris Elliott. Hard into the outside wall. We have carnage. We have lots of trucks tore up over here through the trial there, Phil.
Yeah, we do. That's going to bring our first caution flag of the night out on lap number 6 in a multiple truck tango over there off of turn number 4. They all got wadded up there, all in the grass down there. I see Stanley's 05 rolling away. Chris Elliott's truck destroyed a big pile up here, rolling right off the exit of the 4th turn. It's almost Calamity Quarter here in Daytona, and without a doubt, it's collected a bunch of good race trucks here tonight. First yellow flag of the night here, live on the Full Velocity Racing Network, presented by Hanover Record Service, as they all are, all caution flags. Also, going to let Todd go down there to work here and maybe show off our first Full Velocity replay of the night that is brought to you by our friends at BladeNode.com. If you need simple web solutions powered by nerds with some web hosting, a VPS server, dedicated server, check out no further than our friends at Sam and Vlad over at BladeNode.com. They sponsor our Full Velocity Instant Replays. And Todd, I believe you're going to have a pretty much of a doozy to show us off here tonight, because that one broke loose there right in the high lane. Chris Elliott going around. I see Stanley all tore up in the 05, and it picked up a whole lot more. Show us off what happened down there with a replay.
Yeah, definitely. Phil is Hobo Racing League also sponsoring here our caution overlays too tonight. Thank you to Hobo Racing League. Is the number, like you said, the number 9 of Chris Elliott coming down through the corner here, and we're going to watch to see what happens to that number 9 machine. Is man, it was just rather interesting to see all these trucks tore up through the corner, and it happens right here. As I don't see anything. It's one of those magical things. The 439 machine, it looks like he came up and hit number 9, Chris Elliott. I don't know, Phil. There's quite the gap there. There is no, like, you can fit a truck in between them, and around goes Chris Elliott. I don't understand that.
And I'm taking a look back. I'm looking at the same view that you were showing off there, and what in the world is going on? You said there's a whole gap between those trucks, and it almost looks like something just freakishly stepped out and pushed the 9 truck around. So really, really weird. Not even exactly sure what that all was, but I don't know if something broke in the 9, but there was definitely no contact between the two. Either way, a big catastrophe here early on in the going. Going to put a lot of good trucks there with some damage. Chris Elliott back there. I see Wayne Medinger back there. Bradley Burks, 87, who was good. I'm not sure if Burry got a piece of that in the 81. We know Stanley in the 05 definitely did. Our buddy Ken Smith. Not sure if Gary Mingus got a piece of that as well out there in that number 013 Papa Gooch machine. I think that thing all looks kind of straight, so Gary Mingus may be okay as well. He'll be one of the guys here, Todd, I want to talk to here a little bit later on in the going of the races. We get settled into this thing here tonight, live on the Full Velocity Racing Network. I want to thank all out there for tuning in via YouTube Live with us here tonight. It was definitely a trying night getting this show out on the airwaves. We were having a whole lot of chaos going on behind the scenes. Couldn't get the link out to you correctly. Couldn't get the right link to go live, but I think finally finally, through the grace of God and maybe Papa Gooch laughing at us, who knows? We got that all out there for you guys. So glad you've all tuned in tonight live to the Full Velocity Racing Network. None of this is possible tonight without great leagues like ASRacing like we have over here tonight. But, of course, the great sponsors we have here live on the network night after night, folks like Hanover Record Service. Got to thank them a lot. Got to thank our buddy Jeff at iRacing iFlag, who does a lot for us. We got to thank Voiles Trucking, Brian and Kathy Voiles. They're our big main NR 2003 sponsor. It's because of them we came over here and do a lot of these broadcasts now. So we got to thank them for all their contributions to us. Check them out at Voiles Trucking over on Facebook. Also going to thanks to the gang over at BladeNode.com. Our Full Velocity Replay sponsorships, of course, and our Victory Lane sponsors. They're great people over there. Need web hosting, as we said, or a VPS dedicated server. Check out BladeNode.com. Also going to say hello to our buddy Scott Bargloff over at South Texas Speedway. He does a lot of great things for us as well here on the network. Also going to thank Jake Keel over at Montstar Productions. They're making dirt track racing great again, like our buddies Ron and Brett are doing on the other half of the stream tonight with Full Velocity. They're over on Facebook Live here tonight doing an awesome job. So thank those guys. Got to thank Montstar Productions, said making dirt track racing great again. Got to thank great leagues that step up here like TDR Racing League, the sponsor of a TDR Turtle. Hard Motorsports, who sponsors our quick time of the evening, which tonight goes to number 43 of Bob Dixon. We got to thank Trash Panda Graphics, Evil One Graphics, and our buddy Brendan Spadafora over at YouTube, Full Throttle with the Gent. You haven't checked out his great little show he does over there, check it out. Once again, it is called Full Throttle with the Gent, Gent. Brendan the Gent that we see always out there on our YouTube feeds. He does a great little podcast type show over on YouTube that covers out the NASCAR world, so check him out. Once again, a lot of great sponsors and a lot of great people that back us up here, Todd. It really all can't be done without them. We're just two guys who like to show it off and talk about it, but it doesn't go without the contributions that we get from behind the scenes. Not with him sponsorship, but these great leagues and ASR, they're definitely a good one. David Chin, these guys, they've been really great to us over the years.
They've definitely been really good to us over the years. Got the sponsor plugs all up there, Phil. No particular order here tonight on NASCAR 2003. And we just wanted to make sure we showcased everyone. I was sitting back here counting to see how many seconds I was actually trying to leave them up here on the screen. No particular order. Every sponsor here on the Full Velocity Racing Network has been great to us. Every league's been great to us that have been over the years here. Whether it was DRTV here in NASCAR 2003 community, where we're knowing the biggest out of there, or the Full Velocity Racing Network, which we, Full Velocity TV, which Phil and I created a long time ago. I should say it's been a couple of years now, almost a couple of years. Not quite yet, but I know DRTV, we had quite about a 5-year stint with those guys, with Rich Patton and those. Sometimes Phil and I miss Rich out here and
a lot.
Different things because you don't realize what he actually did for us and what everybody else has done for us here over the years and different things. Yeah, we have a lot of what Rich had, and it's just interesting. Sometimes we need to see Rich because he's able to keep all of us level-headed, but unfortunately, satellite internet. If everybody's ever tried satellite internet, awful, very very awful. And that's what Rich Patton has right now. So maybe someday we may see the return of Rich Patton, but probably not anytime soon. But Rich was a great guy for us here. So this has been a great league. These guys have been with us since Rich Patton too. I mean, between these guys and Hobo, they've been with us for quite some time. So we do appreciate the business here at NASCAR 2003. The community has been fantastic to us, and we'd like to keep continuing to come back to NASCAR 2003 if we could get some of the newer widget stuff to work with us here and be able to keep it running.
Absolutely right. And I said we can't thank these guys enough for being, as you said, so loyal to us over the years. We love coming over here to catch up with DC and Postal and Gary and all the entire gang over here at ASR. These are great people. They race, Todd, almost 7. They do race 7 nights a week and all different types of mods. They have fixed setup racing. They have open setup racing. They're fixed out here on a Friday night. Or I should say, a Monday night. Friday came from. On a Monday night, they do the CWS 15 trucks, and they are always a good time to come out here and play with these guys here. Great league. Check these guys out. ASRacing, N2K3.net is where you find them. But the good news is, Todd, at Daytona, Our first yellow flag of the night is coming to its conclusion because I see our pace car coming down toward pit road, and we're going to go green flag racing this time on a turn number 4. Postal, Bob Dixon, Smitty, Don Dolson, Tyler Hunter, the number 70. That's going to be our top 5. We go back to green flag racing here in Daytona.
Definitely back to green flag racing as we go a little bit of Postal there with the number 7 machine. ASR Postal up to the top shelf of the speedway. But the 43 of Bob Dixon making the gearbox work down in the bottom for himself. He propels himself to the lead. You don't want to get too far out here at Daytona as the guys will be able to get right back up and blow right by you with the number 3 of Smitty working on the bottom. We'll see how many damaged trucks here, Phil, throughout that. If they're able to make it up through the field here this evening. See a lot of different trucks up towards the front of this field this time.
Oh, absolutely right. I'm keeping an eye on one in particular right there, the number 70 truck of Tyler Hunter, number 70 car, and I number truck, and I see the PPG sponsorship. I see the Busch Beer stuff on the quarter panels. I see old Milwaukee on there. I'm not sure if you're trying to tell us something, but I am a little bit thirsty. Tyler Hunter out there representing aboard truck number 70. We're racing up there for the lead. Smitty to the outside of Bob Dixon, and Bob doing a really good job holding a bottom side top lane. They're a little bit squirrely up there. They're door-to-door for the race lead there off of 2.
Yeah, I thought that was going to be another big one here at Daytona. Smitty was coming down the track just a tad bit. Dixon and those guys, they were beating off each other like it was a short track, a Saturday night or a Friday night short track. And remember, this is 2.5 miles around. This is Daytona. The speed's excess of 180, 185. Their average speed 175 right now. Man, they're bouncing off each other like it's a short track Saturday night, I should say. The 43 of Bob Dixon still working over the bottom of 060. Dean down to the bottom side there helping out good old Bob Dixon. But now to the lead, Smitty here has a little bit of help there from Postal. Postal now drifts up the track, though. That's not going to help the number 3's momentum there coming off the corners. They enter the back straight away.
Yeah, they do. And yeah, it's Postal. Nelson Rodriguez at number 7 trying to shove the 3 truck out to the race lead. And look at that little tandem draft down the backstretch into turn number 3. That is going to push Smitty back into the race lead. That looks like Postal may also clear that STP sponsor number 43 down to the low side. Bob Dixon now looks like, oh, look at that. Smitty got pushed to the lead there, Todd, by that number 7. And what does he do? He drops to the low side. Is that how you take care of your friends? They push you to the lead and you drop down and ditch him? No, it's not. Just look at Smitty. Comes back to the outside. Now let's get split 3 wide. What the heck is happening back there? We're going to wreck, Todd.
Yeah, number 4 through the air, Phil.
Oh, my.
Yeah, you're near and dear. Number 4 upside down. I don't think he went upside down, but he was through the air. He had his pilot's license. That's ASR HUD. And that number 4 machine, as he went for a wild ride. I'm going to get to an instant replay. Sponsored by BladeNote.com. Hanover Record Service yellow flag coming out here over the field. And we're going to see what Hobo Racing League's replay will bring us here tonight for the ASR guys. And, man, that was another big wreck. And, man, how many more trucks can take that much damage here, Phil?
I'm not sure, but it's a Diet Coke sponsor number 4, Robin Hudson. We knew him for years as NWO Diet Coke. Well, he's out there with that Diet Coke machine now in at number 4. And looks like that thing may have had some Mentos under the hood, Todd, because that thing got all sorts of kind of tipsy and turned around up in the air, soaring through the air, and wow, that's going to be quite the picture to go back and show. I'm not sure how many more trucks this may have tore up, but I think we highlight there, as you're going to show on the replay, the 4 truck of Robin Hudson. Diet Coke went for a ride. I'm a Pepsi guy, so there we go.
Yeah, Diet Coke, the number 4 machine gets loose there. It looks like maybe some air took off his spoiler by the number 88 machine right there directly behind him. Again, that's DC88, and the 4 of Hudson goes into the wall, hits the wall, comes back down in front of the 88 machine, and then you watch some more carnage as the 4 goes up in the air, just as a little bit of a nosy, I should say, the number 4 machine. It looks like he was going to go for one wild ride there, Phil. He hits the number 72 machine. I believe that's the number 98 also involved in that one. The 710 going down through the grass, Manny Diaz. I mean, just a lot of trucks involved in this one. Doesn't look like as much damage as the very first wreck, but man, tough break for those drivers.
Yeah, it really is. It was DC, the 88, David Shin, getting a little piece of the action there as well, so it puts on a yellow flag here. For the second time tonight in Daytona, the Carl Ragucci, a.k.a. we all knew him as Papa Gooch. He passed away here about a month ago, and We're out here tonight paying honor to Carl's memory and all these guys out here racing for him. And one of these guys that was very much near and dear to him was our buddy Gary Mingus. And I look up here in TeamSpeak and I didn't see before. I see our old buddy, Greg Artlett, maybe back here to kind of give us a couple of words. Let's see if we can't grab the slingshot down here and give him a shout tonight here aboard truck number 12. We'll move him around and see if can't bring the old slingshot into the conversation. It's been quite a while since we talked to this guy. And that's aboard that 013 tonight, that old car Ragucci Papa Gooch truck. Our old friend Gary Mingus. Gary, buddy, good to talk to you once again out there parading Papa Gooch's truck. I know he's an old dear friend of yours, a guy you spent some time with him. If you can, sir, give us a story of your time with Carl out there when you guys got to meet and hang out a little bit.
Well, I'll tell you, as some may or may not know, several months ago I had fusion back surgery, and I used to play golf a lot. Papa Gooch probably loved playing golf back in his younger days more than anything else in the world except NASCAR 2003. And I went down to see him down in Melbourne, Florida, where he lived down on the beach down there, to do some repair work on his computer for him. And when I was down there, I told him, I said, I don't think I'd ever be able to get on a golf course again. Well, he gave me a set of golf clubs, which was probably worth about $600 or $700 that he had. They were pings, nice bag, all the equipment and everything, tees and stuff, and told me, you get your butt back on the golf course. Well, I went and had my back surgery. 2 months later, I was over in Louisiana with Dean Gotro, who drives the 060 truck here, and played 18 holes of golf, and I owe that miracle to Papa Gooch.
Well, that's a great story right there. And as a guy who loved to play a lot of golf back in my younger years as well, that is a really cool story. But Gary, it stinks to come out in Papa Gooch's honor, but he's a guy who always loved coming to a race in a place like Daytona. He said both you guys reside out there in the state of Florida. He always loved coming out here, not only racing with these guys, but the camaraderie he had. There's a lot of guys over here, yourself included, that were really fond of Papa Gooch. He was a really great guy, and he's going to be missed by every one of us over here.
He sure is, and his family's watching tonight. And, this guy, every once in a while you run across an individual in your life who's just so kind, so loving, so fun to be around, and Papa was that guy. This guy never had an enemy in the world. He'd never admit to that, but you could see it right off the bat, and the relationship that he built between me and him real quick was a sheer joy to be around him. He's got the best attitude, and his body just finally gave up on him. But I know he's in a better place now, and it's really an honor for me to have had him as my friend and to be able to drive his truck tonight. He's had some great stories to tell and trade with me when I was down there with him.
He's a great guy for sure, and he's going to be missed by all of them. But tell us about that truck out there tonight. You're in Papa Gooch's truck out there, giving it one more really good ride. It looks like it was really good early. You qualified up there in the top two on the outside of the front row. Trucks looks to be really quick. The fender's also straight. Are you going to give that thing a good ride back up to the front of the field?
Well, I think we've got a chance to do that. That first caution flag just kind of beat me up a little bit, but it wasn't enough to take me out of the race. I've still got a good truck. They were able to fix it, and I really skimmed through that last caution. I got lucky there, so we're going to try to do the best we can with it, and hopefully with Papa Gooch pushing me on the way, we'll get it back up to the front.
Well, Gary Mingus, it's always a pleasure, my friend, to get to talk to you and catch up with you. Good luck the rest of this night if I don't talk to you again, and thanks so much for going out there and representing old Papa Gooch tonight. That truck was always one of my favorites as well. That thing's really awesome. Get to go back and see some of the old schemes that DC sent us to show off on the broadcast. Really great guy. Going to be missed by all of us, but good luck the rest of the night. Give Papa Gooch one more good ride out there. We're going to hope and cheer it's in victory lane there, bud.
All right, thank you very much, and say hello, shout-outs to his son Carlo and his daughter Gail and all the rest of his family that are watching tonight.
Absolutely. Our thoughts and prayers are all with them, and that's a great guy to talk to right there, Mr. Gary Mingus. A class act all the way around, guy we've known for many, many years now, Tom. We go back to early on in the days of the RTV days. We did a lot of work with Gary and these guys over here, ASR, and
Yep.
back with Gary, and he was a member of SMO. So he's one of the great guys of this community, always a great person, an interview to talk to, and a guy who said he was friends with Carl Ragucci, old Papa Gooch, and he was a guy. If we're going to talk to at least one here tonight, he had the stories to tell. And the miracle of playing golf, I'm glad that was a gift that those two could share. And I'm sure that's something old Papa Gooch is really happy to see that old our buddy Mr. Mingus is still out there swinging at it, shooting 18. That's a really cool story.
Yeah, definitely, Phil. Is Gary Mingus, like you said, fantastic guy. He's announced with us quite a few times here on DRTV. He's come up and done some great interviews with us. An outstanding guy, and Gary Mingus done a lot for the NASCAR 2003 community. But again, we're getting ready to go back to racing here. Papa Gooch Memorial Race here at Daytona. Lights are extinguished atop that pace truck here tonight, Phil. So we're going to see if we can go green the rest of the way. We've had 17 laps of 70 completed here so far. And I'm almost willing to bet, Phil, I think they got the bugs worked out. We're going to go in for a long green flag run this time.
Yeah, I think we are as well as two. We'll have to wait and see what's going to happen there and see the racing going on. As I look over to the stream, and then I'm not sure however I did this, Tom, but I look over here to my old mod, and I see you got the pace truck out there. I have the old semi-rig that we used to have out there in the Full Velocity Network days. So let's see if I can't get that here. I'm laughing out there seeing this 18-wheeler out there pulling down pit road, getting ready to go back. Green flag racing, Dean Guttrow, Sunday trip. That's Autry Waits, Bob Dixon, Postal, and Smitty going to be our top five as we're getting ready to go back to green flag racing. Or are we not? Did something go completely afoul here? Because all of a sudden, Todd, they were in the tribal ready to go, and then we're not ready to go. What in the world ever happened here?
Yeah, not sure. Another yellow flag coming out here. Just going.
Never got green.
Things, and now they're still yellow here on my screen there, Phil.
Yeah, they never even got back green, so I'm not exactly sure.
It's kind of weird there that the widgets didn't come up or anything to that matter. So we're just looking to see if maybe the flag status is going to come up here. We don't see any flag statuses here, so.
I think I found something.
Not sure. I'm not sure what happened, Phil.
I think we may have had. Oh, Todd, coming right to the restart. There's something to show off here. It looks like guys just for whatever reason had issues pacing, and I think I see. It was a 17 truck. No, somebody got turned mid-pack and somebody pointed in the wrong direction. So there is definitely something to go back if you want to take a look here with sorts of a replay. It looks like Ed Vaughn's 92 truck got turned around in a very peculiar setting as these guys are ready to juke and drive for a restart. Somebody zigged when they should have zagged, and it got a couple of trucks together. And I'm not sure if you're going to catch it there, Todd, by way of a replay, but they stacked up getting ready to go back green flag racing. So I guess that would be a good reason to wave it off because there were 4 or 5 trucks. They were spun around right at the exit of turn 4, right at the entrance to pit road. So I guess that's the reason to keep us under the yellow flag is we never even got the green out there to go back to racing.
Yeah, as we're showing that here on the replay, it's rather slow though, but you can see the chain reaction and the slinky effect in slow-mo, and even Stanley goes for a ride there in the 05 machine. A little bit of contact, track's blocked, so they're going to throw out the yellow flag, get these guys restacked and repacked for green flag racing, and gotta thank everybody out there for tuning in. I see a lot of guys out there in YouTube chat box, Phil, and there's been comments being made about the dislikes on the videos and stuff like that as of late here. And I don't understand how anybody could dislike a memorial race or anything in honor of anybody. I mean, it's just a travesty to see something like that. So, again, got to thank everybody for tuning in to this race. Sorry about the dislikes out there. Not sure why.
I'm not exactly sure why either, but hey, there's just some cruel people out there in the world that they want to come put a thumbs down. I guess we've had our fellow detractors over the years as well. So, hey, whatever, Todd and Phil, we've been doing this a long time. We'll be out here as long as great leagues like ASR will have us back to do so here tonight. But, Todd, I heard a little voice come in my head a little while ago saying somebody entered the channel and thought nothing of it. And I look over here, and I see our old buddy, Greg Artlip over here. Usually drives the number 98, but Greg is not out there on the racetrack, and he has once again graced us up here in the broadcast booth. Mr. Artlip, buddy, how the heck are you? Thanks for tuning in this evening.
Hey, good to see you guys. Yeah, just watching everybody down there. I didn't make it here in time for qualifying and everybody, and that number 98's doing a fine job down there. But thanks for having me up here again, guys.
Absolutely. I see old Don Dolson out there, that 98 here this evening. So at least, Greg, if anything, you come out this evening to participate. And remember, an old league friend for you guys. No, Papa Gooch is a member of ASR for quite a long time. You're a guy that's been here a little while as well. I'm kind of sad because I love coming back over to this league, but the last two times we've been here, we've said goodbye to Walt, we've said goodbye to Smoke, and now we said goodbye to Papa Gooch, man. I mean, these losses are adding up really fast, and it's a hard luck thing to come back to because a league like you guys, as close to as you guys are all brothers, and we hate to see them all being called home to the Lord. We know he's in a great place now. All three of those guys are in better places, but man, what a tremendous loss. I'm so glad you guys are still out here all sticking together, but tell us about the family that's over here at ASR. You guys have been together a long time, do a lot of great racing.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you just named, three of the best here. But there's everybody here is, like you said, the camaraderie here is just uh, just unbeatable. I mean, all of us race, and even the guys that come in here spasmodically and race with us, or come from other leagues to come and race with us. And just want to say, what a guy, Papa Gooch. My memory of him, whenever we come on here to race, he always had something cooking in the background. He had a big bucket of chicken cacciatore cooking on the stove or something. He'd be telling us, drinking his red wine. He always had a story about some kind of food he was cooking, and that's what I remember about him. And some of his stories when he was up north there on the East Coast, doing some police work and so forth in his heyday. But what a guy! Great personality. Just loved everybody.
Yes, he certainly did. But you know what he probably would love? He's going to see a big wreck coming on the screen. We're back to green flag racing for about a lap. And then I see fracas happening at the front of the field. And, God, I see a bunch of trucks here on top. The 43 a piece of the action up front. And just a wad of trucks going to put us under our third Hanover Wrecker Service caution flag of the night on lap number 21. Going to put Todd back to work down there with the Hobo Racing, BladeNo.com, full velocity instant replay. And Todd, this one is going to be a wild ride. It happened right at the front of the field. I think a Sunday Trip got involved, and I believe also the 43, Bob Dixon, goes for a wild ride in his 43 Ford.
Yeah, the 060 machine there is the benefit, not the good guy, I should say, as Bob Dixon gets into the back of the 60 machine because the 60 pancakes the outside wall. Around goes the 060, upside down. We got a little bit of roof surfing down through here, Phil. We almost have the first turtle, the TDR Racing turtle. No turtle, though. But a lot of cars damaged once again here. Like I said, the 060 involved, the 70 involved. We're trying to see what the list of drivers we have. 81, the 4, the 013, the 9, the 43 machine. All involved in this one, Phil. The 3 coming through the grass. I mean, there's all kinds. The 7, the Postal, coming through the grass, too. I mean, a lot of contact through here, and a tough break for a lot of the drivers, the leaders, things that just went on through the field. Man, just tough break.
Yeah, it really is. And a lot of good trucks tore up there. Our third caution flag of the night on lap number 22 as we pay honor to Carl Ragucci here tonight live on the Full Velocity Racing Network here at Daytona. We'll let you enjoy some of the sights and the sounds, see if these guys come down pit road with some work, and we'll take a pause from the cause here. Drink time here on the network. I know we just talked about a story with old Papa Gooch wanting some food. Well, I haven't had food yet here this evening, so maybe he's laughing at us here tonight and seeing these early yellow flags. So we're going to pause for the cause, grab a drink of the beverage here. We'll be back here live with the restart on your source for esports racing, the Full Velocity Racing Network. Do not go anywhere. All right, back here live on your source for esports racing, the Full Velocity Racing Network, live tonight in the Daytona International Speedway trucking with the guys over here at ASR, the Car Ragucci Memorial Race. Old Papa Gooch, we lost here a few weeks ago, and here tonight paying honor to his memory here at Daytona, live on the network. Phil Lacasse, Todd Stanton, Greg Artlip up here just hang out in the booth here this evening, kind of enjoying the sights and the sounds of things going on here in Daytona. Greg watching out there via the YouTube live link that you guys out there watching on. Greg, I'm glad you're along for the ride here tonight. 3 early caution flags have really slowed this race down, and that's something that ASR, yellow's usually not a thing of the norm over here. You guys always at these super speedways put some really good, fantastic racing on. What do you think the jitters are here tonight for the reasons we may see these 3 early yellow flags? Oh, I think I may have lost Mr. Arl up there as well, so we'll let him join back in whenever he gets settled. I know he's out there. He's not working for us here today. He's just hanging out. Came to the chin. I see old David Chin out there. DC checking in. DC, I'm glad you're out there. Hope you're having a good time here as it looks like the Full Velocity Racing Network pace truck going to pull its way in, and we go back to racing here at Daytona with Chris Elliott, Willie Z, Todd Wilson, Slowpoke, and Smitty going to be our top 5 as we go back to green here at Daytona, and Chris Elliott's got that awesome-looking number 9, that Frito-Lay Doritos ride, got Pepsi on there a little bit, and that truck going to lead the field now off turn number 2. Takes about 3/4 of a lap to get these things really up the full song here in the trucks, unrestricted. These things really do fly in a big run off the outside lane. Here is Willie Z got left on the inside there. It's kind of got freight train. Todd Wilson's 439 went to the top, and now he's going to shoot low. Underneath that number 9 of Chris Elliott, put Todd Wilson's 439 up to the race lead. He's got Slowpoke there in the 8. They're going to lead their way to the top 2. So a little bit of a layback move there. We got a Todd leading the field here. Todd, that's going to make you happy. Todd Wilson leads the field down the front stretch headed toward turn 1.
Like you said, looking through here, was looking through some of the other drivers that are going on here. We're seeing some 3 wide. Bob Dixon back here, Phil. You're talking about what's going on through here, and just watching the ASR Todd here with the lead, the 439 machine. Then you got second Slowpoke, Chris Elliott, Willie Z, and it looks like Tyler Hunter and then number 70 machine. He rounds out your top 5. Brad Burke right now in the 87 machine. Stanley and ASR Smitty. Those guys were all working together up on the top shelf of the speedway. But a lot of damaged trucks throughout the field, just showing some different angles here, Phil. Showing some different trucks, what was going on through the middle portion, the pack racing that's going on. And a lot of the pack racing is due to unfortunate circumstances as these guys, tearing up their truck just a little bit, maybe just a tad off the pace. But these guys up front trying to run away and hide.
Yes, they are. 22 trucks took the green flag, but unfortunately, 3 early caution flags have taken guys like Wayne Mediger and David Shin and Dean Goodshaw out of the event. So 19 trucks off of the racetrack, and you never know how many of them are still straight and how many may not be. But it's Todd Wilson's 439 out to the lead. Slowpoke now running in for second. Chris Elliott, single file there running in third. Willie Z back to fourth. And Tyler Hunter, the number 70, your Kurt top 5 with Bradley Burke in the 87. Curtly running in the 6th spot. Stanley Kent Smith, his Chevrolet, running in 7th. 8th is Postal aboard the number 7. 9th, we find Ed Vaughn's 92. And Manny Diaz of a 710. He's going to run in the 10th spot. He's going to look to the outside lane, Todd. We're going to go back to 2 wide racing for about 4th on back. Does the outside lane have enough trucks right now to make a run to the front? I guess we'll find out. They exit turn 2.
So they exit turn number 2 down the back straightaway already. Just watching these guys try to form that line up top there, Phil. Just trying to make something work. The number 87 machine up top. I believe it's the number 87 machine. Yep, the 87 machine up top there. That's Brad Burke. 05 is Stanley. But the bottom line starting to work back together. So some of these trucks not as damaged as I thought they were there, Phil. The number 70 start moving to the bottom here of Tyler Hunter. He's working pretty good there against the top tandem there of the 5 trucks up there all by his lonesome pretty much. The 92 pretty much staying single file. A little bit off the rear bumper there. And that may be product of watching guys wreck here early on in the going, Phil. These guys just trying to log the laps. See the car disappear there. Truck disappeared there for a moment. Number 8 of Slowpoke disappearing there. Could have been something bad happening there, but these guys doing a fantastic job down the back straightaway. It is still ASR Todd with your lead. Second right now is a nice battle between the number 9 of Chris Elliott and Slowpoke, as those guys fighting tooth and nail for that second spot. And now all you have to do is look out the rearview mirror of the number 439 machine, and you see great battling going on, side by side battling, that matter of fact, Phil.
Yeah, they sure are. It's a good battle back there with man, look at the outside lane roll there with ASR Todd, Chris Elliott, Slowpoke there. Brad Burke trying to ride the 87 up to the high lane. Those guys all up there shape-shifting through the field. As I click back here through the battle, we see Postal up there in the 7. The 05 of Stanley Burke in the 87 of the first car leading that train up high. The 9 of Chris Elliott, he pulls alongside Slowpoke for second. They've ahead of steam. They make a run all the way down for the lead as they hit turn 3. Todd Wilson has company from Chris Elliott, that gang of the outside lane. They are rolling, headed through the middle of 3 and 4.
As they roll through turns number 3 and 4, watching these guys fight tooth and nail for the spot. It looks like Chris Elliott jumping up there just a tad bit. Going to try to get that momentum there with the number 87 of Brad Burke pushing him there. Trying to get around the number 8 of Slowpoke as they come down the front straightaway here to turn number 3. Is ASR Todd with the lead. And Slowpoke right now running in second. So those guys pretty much out of the drafting tandem there as these guys fight side by side.
Yeah, they really are. As they're trying to make it happen on the outside lane. Now the low side starting to form back together. The 8 of Slowpoke, the 38 of Willie Z. Those guys getting a really good, toe off each other, staying all nip and tuck there in the bottom. Almost broke up the run that Elliott and Burke have on the outside lane of the 87. They're going to try to toil it back up over to turn number 3. But look at the run to the inside as Tyler Hunter's there on the bottom. Who's that black truck down there? Is that Manny Diaz of a 710 up there trying to mix it up? It certainly is. Look at Manny D rolling. He pulls that 710 to the inside of a 9 of Chris Elliott as they race on for the 5th spot. Oh, Manny Diaz making his muscle a little flexed here, Todd, headed down toward turn 1.
A fantastic job is Manny trying to, like you said, he's flexing his muscle through the field here, just watching him come through and trying to do something different here. Just man, it's really difficult right now, Phil, to even tell who's going to be able to be up front here and who's actually damaged. Because I don't see a lot of these cars. I'm almost willing to bet that the top 13, 14 don't really have as much damage as we may have portrayed, but nobody really getting away from each other either. So that's a fantastic job too by these drivers as they're able to still work. But Manny Diaz now up to the top shelf again. Trying to this time with the help from Tyler Hunter. Hunter right now was on his rear bumper there, but Diaz back down to the bottom side, falls back in the line in the 4th.
Yeah, I'm not sure the outside lane has enough trucks right now, and maybe not enough trucks, Todd, that may have straight fenders still on those things as you tear these fenders up. These things make a bigger hole in the air than ever. A lot of that drag slows those trucks down, and I'm not sure Manny D is going to have a lot of help right there right now as he goes back to the outside lane. And look right behind is guys like Tyler Hunter, Ed Vaughn. Also, Bob Dixon, 43 truck, rebounding from an early wreck. Bob sat on the pole here tonight. That 43 is back digging. He's running up to the 7th spot. He may look for 6s. Manny D is a man all by his lonesome, Todd, as we're 2 laps shy of halfway. Manny D starting to free fall outside of the top 5, maybe through the back part of the top 10. Bradley Burke going to try to pull up to the outside, give him a tow, but Manny D from up there to 5th, he may fall all the way back to 8th or 9th before he fall back in line over in turn 3.
It's tough when you go out to that outside there, Phil, as these guys, it just seems like the bottom just that much faster. Able to get around this track is now these trucks, like we were talking about, 187 miles an hour, they're 195 as of right now, 196 if you're running about 6th or 7th position, as they're able to tuck up into line and use that draft to their advantage. These guys seem to be pretty much settling in, Phil, for the long haul this time, as they're pretty much now starting to come out single file, not really trying to the top shelf of the speedway. It is ASR Todd, Slowpoke, Willie Z, Ed Vaughn, Bob Dixon, Manny D, Tyler Hunter, Chris Elliott, Berge, and Brad Burke round out your top 10 right now. Stanley, ASR Postal, ASR Don Dolster. Then you got Slingshot, Sunday Trip, Jimmy Johnson, and Daryl Pace. Those guys round out your 17 cars that are left on the lead lap. Then you got ASR HUD 3 laps down. Schmitty is 7 laps down. And both Dean and DC out of this event as of right now, Phil. So I guess HUD also being retired and Schmitty also being retired, Phil.
Yeah, I'm just now catching up on that myself. The 4 and the 3 have both come to pit road and pulled behind the wall, so they joined Dean Goodshow, David Shin, and Wayne Medinger out of the race. So out of 22, 17 left in the racetrack. The last of those out there, the number 17 of old DC Daryl Pace, and I think he's a little bit off pace aboard that 17. He's got some severe damage on that truck. He lost the draft. He's about half a lap away for maybe falling a lap down as these cars continue to juke and jive up in the top 10. Manny Diaz, he's a guy not giving up in the outside lane, but he's got no friends up there right now. As he leaves that low side open, Tyler Hunter sneaks on by the 70. Chris Elliott's number 9 goes back to the bottom. So Manny did try to make something happen with 710, Todd. Just no friends up high as look at the 9 truck goes by. Brad Burke's 87 rolls by. Outside lane, I love to go up there and make it try, but you need friends to go up there and make that work. And Manny D, a guy who's trying to make some friends right now as he attempts to keep his way back to the front as they work down through the triangle, heading off to the end of turn number 1.
Yeah, just watching and trying to see who his friends are going to be. Slowpoke looks like he's really antsy there, Phil, trying to get around the 439 of ASR Todd. It looked like he looked high, it looked low. Maybe just trying something different. Maybe trying to get the air on that nose and maybe try to cool down his truck. Not sure if the drafting or something may overheat these trucks just a tad bit. Remember being in the draft before, Phil, and trucks overheating, so I don't know if the setup is going to overheat just a tad bit, but outside now, Phil, look at the 70 of Tyler Hunter. He's got a gaggle of trucks right there behind him on the top shelf trying to pull up alongside of these drivers. Already up alongside the number 92 of Ed Vaughn. So those guys starting to make some headway on the top side. So that's starting to make some ground up, Phil. So it's going to be interesting to see if the top can do anything here against this bottom 5 trucks.
Yeah, they're starting to form up there. They got 4 or 5 or 6 of them all lined up there. So we'll see if Manny Diaz does have some friends after all. As Tyler Hunter's 70 truck goes up there, we see Burke in the 87 has joined him up there. That also looks like the 7 from where that is. Let me zing up there further in the pack to figure out who's in front. It's the 70 truck of Tyler Hunter that's trying to be that first truck on the outside. They now smoking contact up front, and that's going to no doubt put us on a yellow flag. And that happened right up at the top 2 or 3. Tough to see where I was sitting, where the contact started from, but all I do know is from behind the 38 truck on back was all kind of tore up there. So yellow flag going to come out for the 4th time now, just past the halfway marker. 39 of 70 laps on the board, 4th hit of our circus, yellow flag of the night. And God, this one's going to be a big one to look at as it was happening right up there around for the race lead. And I believe it was Slowpoke that may have been involved here. So was it Tyler Hunter also getting a piece? Maybe Ed Vaughn's 92, Manny D in the 710. Multiple trucks going around. I'm not sure where it started from, Todd. You're the guy to tell us the answer to that with a full velocity replay tonight, presented by BladeNo.com and Hobo Racing League.
So, Phil, this is how it all started. We're going to go through this, and it's the battle between the leaders here. The number 8 of Slowpoke, he was trying to get around the number 439 machine of ASR Todd, and Slowpoke gets into the back of him. And what happens when you get the leaders? They go back up the track in front of oncoming traffic. They collect the number 92 machine, the 70 truck. Then the 05 machine's going to get a part of that one. The 710 machine, the 70 goes upside down. And will he be the first roof surfer of the evening? And man, he's just barrel rolling. Rolling. Is he going to land on his... Nope, he's going to land on all 4 wheels of the number 70 machine. So unfortunate there for a lot of trucks involved in that one. But 70 going for a wild ride. Probably the most twists and turns I've seen in a while. Tyler Hunter going upside down with a PPG-sponsored Bush machine. They're just going upside down, rolling down the front straightaway here at Daytona, Phil, and man, just that's not the way you want to be in part of this race. I mean, they were doing all kinds of different dances up in the air, and I mean, just tough break for these drivers as it continues.
Todd, I just went back and counted 10 flips and stuck the landing aboard the number 70. I can't imagine that thing is going to handle all that great because that thing went for a wild ride, as a lot of these guys did. Fourth yellow flag of the night now, working on lap number 40 of the 70 that make up our Carl Ragucci Memorial. Old Papa Gooch that we lost over here, ASR, a great guy, and so many great stories that man had told us over the years. Man, a family guy, loved his family, loved people. He was such a great and giving guy in this community, especially the guys over at ASR. Was always a guy that was always quick to help, to jump to assist somebody. He was always very witty with a story, and as Greg told us a while ago, a guy who was always talking about good food, and it's one of the great things we love to hear stories about is food. I'm a guy, I'm dying for a little bit of food right now. So if anybody out there listening, why not throw some food over here? I could use some here. We had a pretty stressful evening getting started. I had to rush home from daughter's softball game, trying to get our sister stream over there tonight with the guys over at the ARDC on the airwaves, and that was all of a bunch of issues to start with. And then get over here to ASR, trying to get this one over here for the Carlo Ragucci Memorial Race, and that was 30 minutes late. So it's been a trying night for us here live on the Full Velocity Racing Network. I appreciate all of you for tuning in here tonight over on YouTube with the gang. Got to thank Royals Trucking, as always, for the sponsorship they give us to come over here and do NR 2003 to this day. As we appreciate Kathy and Brian Foyles for coming aboard. Thank all these great leagues like ASR and Hobo and all these great leagues that have stuck with us over here in the NR 2003 community. Thank great leagues like TDR Racing League for coming aboard and sponsoring our Turtle. Thank guys like Brendan Spadafora from Full Throttle with the Gent coming aboard and sponsoring us here. That great show. If you have not given his show a listen yet, you have to do so. It is called Full Throttle with the Gent. It's right here on YouTube. You got to look him up. Look up our buddy Brendan the Gent. Check out this show. If you're a NASCAR fan, I know so many of us are, you want to hear a really informative and insightful and more like an editorial type show. When that guy gets off ranting, it is absolutely gold. Check it out today. Full Throttle with the Gent. Give our buddy Brendan a visit over there and a like and a subscribe. And like all you guys have done tonight over here on the YouTube side of things, our buddies Jeffrey Elliott over here. We see Sam Perrio tie me up over there from BladeNote.com. We've seen Joe Elliott. We've seen Jeff Elliott, Greg Artlam was over there in the chat as well. DC was also involved over there. So thanks to all those guys that have tuned in tonight under the yellow flag. Once again over here in Daytona, we'll pause for the cause. What looks like we're going to be a lap away from going back to green. We'll be back here live at the Call the Restart on your source for esports racing. Do not go away. All right, back here live in your source for esports racing. Just trying to take care of the whistle here tonight. Is whatever reason, whatever. I was outside today, just completely feeling off my game with everything that went on earlier this evening, getting us going and trying to get into the groove of things and keep it hydrated and whatnot. So we apologize there for a little bit of downtime, but we're doing the best we can here live tonight. The Full Velocity Racing Network is we're going back to green flag racing here at Daytona on lap number 43. Bob Dixon, Don Dolson, Postal, Willie Z, and Brad Burke going to lead us back to green in the number 87 as we head down to turn 1. And look at the run already for Nelson Rodriguez, the number 7. Postal, well, he's going Postal on the field right now. Put Nelson up to second, and he may look for the lead, Todd. What a heck of a restart for that 7 truck. He's up to second. Maybe we're going to look for more as we head down the back straightaway.
Yeah, he was able to get up through the gearbox a little bit faster than Don Dolster and Willie Z in that number 38 machine, but I tell you what, is our Postal right there behind the number 43 of Bob Dixon, the STP sponsor, number 43, out in front of the field again here, Phil. He's not led the most laps as of yet because it's ASR Todd now 13, but he was our early leader. He led 8 laps, now leading lap number 9 here for himself, as he's led 9 laps of the 44 laps up on the board here. We're on 44 of 70 laps here tonight, and watching Bob Dixon go to town here, trying to keep Postal right there behind him. Then you got Dolson still running in 3rd, and 4th is Willie Z. They're pretty much single file. Look at Brad Burke. It's not even Brad Burke, excuse me. It looks like the 013 machine there, the number 12 of Mingus, Gary Mingus, to the top shelf of the Speedway. And man, it's the old slingshot up on the top shelf there, Phil. He's making things happen there in that 013 machine.
Yeah, and he knows how to make things exciting here at Restricted Plate Races. Gary Mingus, a really, really good racer here when you got these aero packages with the draft and the whatnot. So keep an eye on that 013 old Papa Gooch's truck being piloted by the slingshot Gary Mingus right now running in the 5th spot. 3rd truck in the outside lane, as it looks like these guys right now can't get away from each other, is Postal down the up high in that lane. You've got, who's that up there? Is that Willie Z38, the 2nd truck in line there? You got the 013 of Mingus on the outside lane. So these guys trying to make it happen down low. Burke stuck down there with the 43 of Bob Dixon. They're going to, Don Dolson, I should say, falling back now. Look at the outside lane. The run they get is Nelson Rodriguez going to make the lead in turn number 3. Well, look at that. The low side, Todd. They like to make a liar out of me. Just as I say that, Bob Dixon gets his way back to the front. High versus low right now. What line do you want to be in at this point?
Right now, I want to be in the high side because you got the momentum on the top shelf. As you come off the corner, you're able to keep the momentum up, and I feel pretty comfortable with the ASR Postal up on the top shelf as of now. Bob Dixon doing a fantastic job by down the bottom there, that number 43 by his own right. But the 7 of Postal, able to pull off the corner here. As you watch him come off with 2, he's able to stay in the throttle. He's got to have a guy right there, and they're going to make a 3 wide. That is Gary Mingus up through the middle there in the 013 machine. 3 wide for that 4th spot as Mingus trying to make something happen up through the middle. That's the good old sucker hole. And Gary Mingus does not make anything happen as he's just going to fall back just another spot there, Phil, in that 013 machine.
Yeah, he certainly is. As here comes Stanley in the 05. He's going to put himself to the outside lane and make a ray around Mingus there. So put Stanley up to that 5th spot. And that's a guy, Todd, if we're going to do predictions here in a little while, keep an eye on the 05 because Stanley is a guy who knows how to make his way to victory lane here, especially in a place like those. We had a little bit of contact go on back there off the side of the Mingus machine. I'm not sure who it was there. Was it Todd Wilson? Somebody got a little bit of contact there off the right side of the 13 truck, and all of a sudden they all shoot it out of the way there. But Todd Wilson of the 439, that Verizon machine, he's going to look down to the low side of Mingus. They race on for the 6th spot. 2 wide tandem up there for the race lead all the way back to about 13th as we work our way through 3 and 4.
Yeah, that would have been the 81 of Berge making contact with the outside of him. Berge going back through the field there, so tough break for Berge as he's going to have to regather himself back up and try to make another run for his Postal. Going to lead that time by there, Phil, so he's going to lead his first lap of the evening. I should say the first lap, not of the evening, the 6th lap of the evening. First lap in quite some time. That number 7 machine out front. Bob Dixon still trying to fight down to the bottom side. He doesn't have the help that I do believe he needs, though, Phil. I think these guys got to be tucked right up underneath his bumper to make that bottom work, and they just seem to be laying off. They don't want to run him over. They don't want to cause another big pile up between all these trucks. But like you said, Phil, watching ASR Todd come up through the field once again in the 439 machine, he's trying to make things happen. Doesn't look like he got a ton of damage out of his wreck that's involved. Look at Manny Diaz, too. He's down to the bottom of Gary Mingus. He's making his way up inside right now. He's inside the top 10 in that 710 machine.
Yeah, Manny D having a great run tonight aboard that 710, up in the top 10 and trying to make waves up there inside the top 10, maybe up near the top 5 before this thing gets to the conclusion, as Bob Dixon still leading Postal there through turns number 1 and 2. You got Willie Z, Don Dolson, Stanley up in the top 5, Todd Wilson, Gary Mingus, Manny D, Jimmy Johnson, Brad Burke, your top 10. Look at old Daryl Pace before his truck was off the paces. Now, as we say that, looks like Pace having some issues here as he was running 11th. With Berge running 12th, Chris Elliott, Sunday Trip, Ed Vaughn, Slowpoke, and Tyler Hunter of the 17 truck still out there. Daryl Pace was attempting to make it happen there, that number 17 truck. Todd, you caught something happening there. What did you see?
Yeah, he went around there, fell down towards the infield. No yellow flag flying there for the number 17 to Daryl Pace, so tough luck for that 17 machine. Going to lead or lose the front draft here. So we're going to have to see if Daryl Pace is going to be able to make his way back up towards the front of the field. But Pace right now pretty much clued himself out of it, unfortunately, taking a ride trip down through the infield. So we'll see. Another yellow flag could be around the corner where it'll put Daryl Pace back into the fray of things. But right now is Bob Dixon with the race, leading that number 30 or 43 machine. The number 98 of Don Dolster running in that second spot. The 439 machine of Todd, ASR Todd, he is already up to third, Phil.
Yeah, Todd starting to make his way forward to the 439. He's up to the outside lane and gets a pretty good little shove there from Postal to number 7 on the outside part of the racetrack. Oh, Ken Smith in the 05. Well, Stanley, he's still got it working up in the high lane as well as these guys starting to run on the laps here, Todd. 51 of 70 going up on the board. And now the question that I think we have to, bring out there, well, less than 20 laps to go now. I think the fuel window here for these guys under a full tank of fuel is somewhere around 18 to 20 laps here in the truck. So a little less than 20 laps to go, about 18 to 20 laps from here. You see these guys out there pack racing. There's short pitting for these guys come into a roll here anytime there, Todd. You risk losing track position right now. We got one more pit stop at least to make for these guys. If you were out there running this pack right now, what are you thinking?
I don't know if I would want a short pit right now, Phil. I would almost be banking on another yellow flag, but I'm going to stay out and run as dry as I can. I'm not going to take any tires. I'm going to go down and get as much fuel as I can and come back out on the field. Maybe try to gamble, watch my fuel mileage, watch what I can do. But I believe you're going to have to take all the fuel you can and pack it right in there. So I guess, Phil, if you're going to say run it dry, maybe bank on a yellow flag as of right now.
I'm going to go the opposite. If I'm up front and say I'm a guy like Bob Dixon or Don Dolson out there, the number 98, and Greg's truck, or even the slingshot Gary Mingus, I'm coming down now. I'm going to get my pitting out of the way. Don't get myself a penalty, because how many times have we done that on pit road before? Get down there, put 2 tires on, fill of fuel, and get out there, Todd, and bank on these guys going to race it out with about a little less than 10 laps remaining, maybe making contact. They may give me track position back. I'm going to short pit right now, so I guess I'll have to wait and see. You say run it dry. I say come in now. Let's see what's going to happen here, because it looks like guys like Tyler Hunter or Slowpoke or maybe a Chris Elliott, I'm not sure if they had contact out there or if those guys may have come down pit side. I believe those guys have all come to pit road to pit and take that fuel. So let's see what the guys like the 9 truck and the 8 truck and the 70 truck do. Is looks like Chris Elliott, indeed, he's come down already to make his stop. So as we see the field start flashing by, he's a guy now who has more than likely made his final stop all night. So I'm really curious to see how that 9 truck is going to play out. I like that call. I think it's the right one to make right now.
The only thing, Phil, that it takes you out of is that draft, and that draft is a huge effect right now. If you don't have a partner as he comes down the track, it's going to be rather interesting to see how much time he does lose, though, to the rest of the field there in that number 9 machine. But then again, the short pitting, it could work. If a yellow flag comes out, he's going to find himself up front. And, man, he doesn't have to save very much. He has saved maybe a tad bit and able to stay up there and kind of just make it, I guess, you kind of make your own race. I mean, you're able to hold people at bay. You're able to take control, I should say.
And Manny Diaz, 710, he elected the same strategy. He's come down on pit road now, get his 710 full of fuel and getting back out there. But Chris Elliott, Todd, how much did he lose? Well, he's lost a whole lap to the field. He is right there, but he is in that lead draft. He's up there in front of Bob Dixon running in 10th. He's right behind the 81 of Berge, who is running in the nice spot. So right now, Chris Elliott is holding on to the draft. He came down, he pitted, he got rid of it, and not only that, he didn't lose the draft. He's not losing time out there. I think that is money versus a guy like Todd or Postal or Stanley. I mean, they still all have to come to pit road. I've always found it easier to pit by myself than with a group, but hey, what do I know, Todd? You win a whole lot more of these races here than I do, because for many, many years in a place like Daytona, I've had no luck at all. So maybe what I'm thinking, maybe completely the wrong call, but I'm pretty content right now if I'm Chris Elliott.
Well, and again, but you got to think, being the devil's advocate, you got to think that he's in this pack. When they all leave him, he loses the draft. That loses precious seconds out onto the field because they're all going to pretty much come down pit road at the same time. And they're going to lose seconds, but then you could end up with a yellow flag. You got to make sure you're by the leader, though, and hopefully that happens. But, man, I don't know on that strategy. Chris Elliott could be right on the strategy. I've won a lot of races here at Daytona and Talladega over the years. NASCAR 2003-wise, you could probably call me a super speedway shoe or trained monkey, as Phil would call it. But there's a lot of strategy games to Talladega or Daytona. It's a different type of race. Obviously, I'm a big guy for like New Hampshire, but these types of tracks have always suited some of the things the strategy calls, because I like to play chess, and that's what it is. So we call it a high-speed chess match. That's what this is. High speed. You try to think what you're going to do, what your opponent's going to do, what's going to go on here, and then you come up with some kind of theory. Yeah, it may work, it may not work.
All right, Todd. Well, we can banter about our theories all day long, but what do you say? It's time to put YouTube to work with a theory of their own. I think it's prediction time. What do you think?
Well, I don't know if it's quite prediction time. We're not there at 10 laps to go, Phil. Once we hit 10 laps to go, then we'll do prediction time. I know I've seen some guys out there cheering for certain drivers, so 10 to go. We're going to call it out there and see. We want to hear your predictions with 10 laps to go. Who's going to actually win this one?
All right. Well, he's going to wait for another 2 laps, I guess. And that's old Todd for you. I try to cue him up for a good one, and he says, no, Phil, give me a minute. Let's wait it out. Let's see what's going to happen here. And what we're seeing right now, Todd, is a very single-file race out front. Is Todd Wilson going to lead the field over Postal, Stanley, Jimmy Johnson there for 4th, Bradley Burke, Willie Z running in the 6th spot with Don Dolson, the slingshot Bob Dixon, and old Berge out there, number 81. He currently runs in the 10th position. 11th, we find Ed Vaughn. Sunday Trip running 12th, and the rest of the field 1 lap down includes Slowpoke, Tyler Hunter, Manny D, Chris Elliott, Darrell Pace. The rest of the field out of the event, guys like Robin Hudson and Smitty, Dean Goodrow, David Chin, Wayne Medinger, those guys all behind the wall. So just about an hour and 10 minutes ago, Todd, this race went green flag live on the Full Velocity Racing Network here tonight in Daytona. The Carl Ragucci Memorial Race here. Old Papa Gooch, as he was known over here, ASR, paying tribute to his honor. And these guys so far putting one heck of a race out there. We have seen Todd Wilson pull these shenanigans at Daytona before in Victory Lane. Will it be once again the Todd and Todd show? Well, this time by Mr. Stanton. We come to 10 to go, so is it finally time to cue you up?
Yeah, I don't know if it's finally time. I don't know if YouTube chat box is revved up enough here, Phil, tonight. They're pretty quiet out there. We want to know what time it is, and I can tell you what time it is, but nobody is revved up enough, Phil, to get that out there to see who it's actually going to be, because guess what's going to happen? As soon as we want to rev up that YouTube chat box, we have a yellow flag, the 87 and 710 together. So we're going to save that segue for a little bit. I want to hear this chat box out on YouTube. I want to hear you guys all revved up. I want to know what you guys' picks are, but I wait till the segue. But I want to hear you guys talk more. You've been kind of quiet out there. This is the YouTube. Come on, pick it up. Pick up the momentum. Speed.
All right, well, we'll speed, and we'll let Todd get to work on our 5th hit of a Record Service caution flag of the night now on lap number 60, just as these guys had one more stop left to make, and I thought the short pit thing was going to work for us, and all of a sudden, yellow flag comes out, and bang, thrown out the window. These guys that stayed out I guess they win. That's why I suck. And I let guys like Todd Stanton push all the buttons, give you all the stories, and sound a whole lot more intelligent than I do, because Todd is going to go back there and give us a Full Velocity Racing Network instant replay tonight, presented by BladeNode.com, and the overlay presented by Hobo Racing League. So, Todd, take it away. What happened to put us on a yellow flag here on lap number 60, right when we were getting ready to pour green flag pit stops?
So trying to be as quick as I can be here, and I said it's the 710 and the 87. Yes, indeed it was. The 710 of Manny Diaz and the number 87 of Brad Burke. Manny dressed up the track just a tad bit. Looks like it got a little bit tight, I should say. Right there before the start finish line, dressed up, hits the 710, or hits 87. The 710 goes around. And I believe that is the number 38 also involved in that one, Phil. So tough break for those drivers. 38 able to keep motoring on, but the 710 of Manny Diaz, well, he has a little bit of damage. Maybe be able to motor on just a tad bit, but it looks like he may have already called for a tow truck there, Phil. So he's going down the pit road the long way. So tough break for the 710.
Yeah, tough break for Manny D aboard that number 710 machine. Manny, a guy I go back a long time with, the pride of Riverside, Rhode Island. Saw Manny back in the day running late models and whatnot up here in the Tops of Connecticut area. Manny D, a really good guy, and good to see him out there still getting at it in the NR 2003 community aboard the number 710. As the race leaders, Todd Under Yellow, have all decided now to come down pit road. I see guys like Jimmy Johnson down here in the 48 taking 4 tires and going. I see Ed Vaughn doing the same. I get a little further down pit road, and I see Todd Wilson took 2 tires. I see Berge taking 2. I see 4 for Brad Burt, 4 for Willie Z. Also looks like a 4-tire stop for Bob Dixon. So these guys, all of them choosing tires, they're all packed full of fuel, and they're going to rejoin the speedway here. So the running order is certainly going to be jumbled. Some different strategies being played here. Some guys probably going to take a wave around and get back to the lead lap. So a lot of drama still left to play out, and I guess we'll be back to play it with it here with the restart live on your source for esports racing. Do not go anywhere. Business is about to pick up here live tonight on the Full Velocity Racing Network. All right, back here live at your source for esports racing, the Full Velocity Racing Network, getting ready to go back to green flag racing on number 65 of 70 on the board. So I'm going to throw this to my partner, Todd, as we get ready for a restart with Postal, Stanley, Don Dolson, Todd Wilson, and Bob Dixon, our top five. Todd, I think it's prediction time.
Definitely prediction time out there. YouTube chat box, are you revved up? We want to hear it. We want to know who's it going to be here tonight. Is it going to be ASR Postal, Stanley, Dolson, Todd, Dixon, Johnson, Willie Z, Berge, Burke, Vaughn, and Slingshot in the number 013. Those guys left on the lead lap. So who's it going to be here tonight? YouTube chat box, come on, rev it up. Let's hear those picks. Phil, you're on. So pick it.
All right, you put me on the spot. I am going to look no further than the truck there running in that second position aboard the number 05 of Stanley. If I'm going to make a bold prediction here tonight, I'm going to pick Stanley Ken Smith. He is going to be the guy that wins the Ragucci Memorial Race here tonight in Daytona. So that's my pick. I'm going to give it to you, Todd, for your pick. And I also almost think I know where this one may be going.
You may be correct. Maybe the 429 of ASR Todd. I cannot go against the Todd. I'm going with ASR Todd. I know a lot of people are out there picking Bob Dixon. I got to pick somebody out. I got to go with the Todd. Can't go against the Todd. Come on, Todd. Let's go.
All right. Well, that's number 439. So if you're throwing for 429, I think you may be on the wrong side of the ticket, Todd, but we know you already are. So we'll let you sit there and chew on that one a little bit there, buddy. As we're racing now for the third spot over in turns. Number 1 and 2 is off the corner of the number 98 of Don Dolson, the number 98 truck. That's Greg Artlip's truck down there in the number 98 with Don Dolson out there tonight in the machine. He's to the low side looking for third. He's out of friends right now because up high, Todd Wilson's 439. He chucks in, put Wilson up to third. Does he have a move left to make to the lead? Look at the run to the inside. Here comes Dolson in the 98, low side digging off turn number 4.
Now, Dave Chin saying Stanley and Alan out there saying, come on to 48. So far we've had some guys pick, Phil. I know there's more out there. There's 16 watchers. We had 2 picks. There's got to be more people out there. This chat box has been the quiet chat box here this evening. I cannot believe it. Look at the great racing we have unfolding in front of us here with the number 7 machine of ASR Postal. Just trying to look at that machine. Side-by-side battling going on with the number 98 machine. 98 being Don Dolster. So you got Stanley right there. You got Todd, ASR Todd. You got Bob Dixon all to the right there side-by-side for the race lead all the way back to about 10th position there, Phil. These guys are going to put on a show here as we're coming up and closing in on almost 2 laps to go. Next time by, we'll have 2 more laps to go, Phil, and this is going to be rather interesting, and this is going to be well worth the price here on Full Velocity Racing Network.
It certainly is. We have a good race for the lead over there in turn number 1 and 2 is the 98 of Dolson. He's going to try to pull the upset tonight on the inside with help from Bob Dixon in the number 43. Postal, the number 7 on the outside with Ken Smith, Old Stanley out there pushing. Todd Wilson in a third truck up high. They're all digging. Look at Jimmy Johnson, the number 48, down to the low side. Those 6 trucks going at it. This whole race lead, Todd, the top 11 trucks all in this lead draft. So realistically, as we come to 2 to go, it's anybody's race for the top 10 off the 4th turn. It is Nelson Rodriguez, Postal, and the number 90 of Dolson. They are door to door for the race lead. 2 to go for the starter stand.
2 to go. Popsicle sticks up in the air here at Daytona International Speedway. The number 98 machine down to the bottom side. That is Don Dolster. Postal up top, and he has all kinds of help right there directly behind him, Phil. And I said the winning pass is going to come from the top shelf of the Speedway. We're going to have to wait and see if that comes true here. As we enter the back straightaway, the 98 trying to chug along, trying to get a little bit more momentum. Is somebody going to shift from the top shelf to the bottom here? Maybe drop down in front of that number 98 machine and let it happen as we come off of turn number 4. White Silk is going to be in the air. The next flag should end this race here tonight, Phil, as they hit the white flag in the air. One more trip around Daytona.
One more trip around, 2.5 miles here in Daytona, Florida. Is there 3 wide? Back a little bit in the field, but Bob Dixon down to the low side trying to make it happen. As a couple of guys may have got squeezed out of lane there down low. Bob Dixon's 43, the only truck down on the low side off of turn number 2, and We look down the back straightaway. These guys juke and jive, make one more chug. The 48 looking for room. The 98 of Dolson looks to the inside of Todd Wilson. They are side by side now for third. Stanley and Postal, they're 1-2. Look at the run for Dolson.
Oh!
He comes to the low side. Stanley going around off the fourth turn. Yellow flag going to come out here as we're racing back to the checker. The 98 truck coming around as we get back to the line. It is going to be Postal taking down the win with Jimmy Johnson in for second. Todd Wilson for third. Bob Dixon for fourth. And Brad Burke gets a top five. Wow. What a finish there, Todd. That went from everywhere. There was going to be a whole lot to show there. Two separate incidents racing back to the checker flag here tonight. Postal, Nelson Rodriguez, he picks up the win in the Carl Ragucci Memorial.
As you see the top 10 on the right-hand side of your screen of where everybody finished here in the top 10. And, man, Jimmy Johnson making some moves there at the end of that one, Phil. Going to be interesting to see the number 48. I don't think he's ever been on the podium here. ASR Todd finishing up third. I guess I get to beat you. I guess to get the bragging rights here again, Phil, is Todd taking down a victory for myself here over the guy that you picked here tonight, the 05 of Stanley, finishing up in that 12th position. So at least I got a win here on Full Velocity Racing Network. Is a win tonight feels pretty good.
It really does, I guess, and I'll let you have it. And we'll try to move along to the post-race show.
I'll get my champagne out, Phil.
There is a whole lot of stuff that happened there on that last lap. I can't believe what happened there coming down to the end. Stanley making a move for the win. Bob Dixon made a move. You saw Don Dolson's number 98 make a move to the low side as those guys could all turn around. So carnage, mayhem, and that's how it ends here tonight live on the Full Velocity Racing Network. We'll be right back with the post-race show. We'll talk to our top three on the BladeNote.com Victory Lane here live
and some beer
on the Full Velocity Racing Network. Do not go away. We'll be right back. We'll talk to our top three and celebrate a really good night of racing here tonight in Daytona. All right, back here on the post-race show on the Full Velocity Racing Network. Carl Ragucci, Papa Gooch Memorial Race here tonight in Daytona for the guys over here at ASRacing. Nelson Rodriguez, ASR Postal picking up the win over second place running here tonight. That is going to be Jimmy Johnson of the 48. And Todd Wilson's going to pick up third. And I believe it's going to be our brother Todd, who's going to run trackside now and talk to an old friend, the Todd and Todd Show. Unfortunately, Todd, not in Victory Lane. It's for third. Your trackside with ASR Todd Wilson, trackside here at Daytona.
Yeah, down there with Todd Wilson leading 24 laps here this evening, just coming up a little bit shy here, 2 positions shy. But Todd, a great race, a lot of carnage there early on in the going, but able to come out of it and bring home a podium finish. Got to be glad to finish here on the podium here tonight. Tell us about your race.
I don't even know where to start, to be honest with you. It was so crazy. these trucks just suck up so well in the draft, and we had a great setup. Got to thank Stanley for that, and but it was very stable, and you could just really do a lot of maneuvering, and man, so you could just make it 2 and 3 wide, and but I got caught, or I got spun out while I was in the lead right there, and I thought I saw my life flash before my eyes, but I was able to hang on to it, and we were able to hang on for a third place finish.
Now, how much damage did you get through that incident there, Todd? Were you able to? Were you not able to step up out of line like you were before? Is that the reasoning what was going on there towards the end of it? Just trying to hang on, trying to salvage a great finish out of it, or were you able to step out of line? And you were just trying to push somebody else to win tonight.
Yeah, believe it or not, after that contact and spinning out and that huge crash, I didn't have that much damage. I came on pit road, and they only beat on it like 5 seconds or so, and we were able to get back out there. But as soon as he hit me, I just kept it in the gas and just tried to keep it as straight as I could. And but we definitely got very, very fortunate to not be in worse shape right there.
Yeah, definitely fortunate is the contact there with Slowpoke there sent you around, and it was one of those things where I was like, oh man, I'm going to hold my breath, because I usually pick you in every race here, and of course I'm enjoying a win over Phil here in the booth, because Phil's pick finished I think 12th or so. Stanley, unfortunately, you finished 3rd, so I get the champagne and the Gatorade, the victory lane here for Velocity Racing Network, but thanks to be me riding on your coattail here tonight, but I'm going to give you the floor. The microphone's all yours. Thank you. We'd like to thank you tonight.
Well, hey, I appreciate it. I want to thank all the admins who put this series on, and again, thanks to Stanley for a great setup tonight. And I just hope everyone at home watching tonight enjoyed the race, and remembered while we were out there racing tonight, and we were honoring a great friend, in Papa Gooch. I met him a long time ago when I first came over here, and I hope his family is watching and hope they enjoyed the race. And then thank you guys as well in the broadcast booth.
Definitely thank all your drivers out there, Chad. Make sure you relay the message back. We appreciate all the drivers here. If we don't see some of them when you go back down through there and talk to some of the drivers. But again, congratulations on a 3rd place finish, and hopefully we'll see some more of you here on Full Velocity Racing Network here soon.
Thanks, guys.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, picking up 3rd place here tonight. That's the driver of the 439. That's Todd Wilson. I'm going to make my way down here to, I know there's a fan out there looking for the number 48 here. Jimmy Johnson taking down 2nd here tonight at Daytona. Jimmy, this is the first time I've got to interview you here in down here in the podium finish here on Full Velocity Racing Network. Tell us about your race. Where did you kind of come from here towards the end of that one, man? You had a pretty good rocket ship there at the end.
Yeah, there toward the end, it was I was just trying to stay out of the mess, stay in the back, and just wanted to kind of wait it out, see wherever it fell, and then stay in that outside lane, because man, once it got going, it was like a tornado heading up through there. But yeah, it was toward the last couple of laps, you could just really feel the energy starting to just getting ready to break loose, So I figured best time to start heading up toward the front.
Yeah, definitely holding some pretty good momentum there at the end in that number 48 machine. But tell us about how those wrecks, how did you fare through those wrecks during the first portion of this event? You said you were hanging back, but did you get involved in many of them, and did you get any damage out of them?
No, actually, I didn't get any damage at all. That's why I stayed back. I actually started last place, and I felt pretty comfortable back there, watching the smoke just kind of rise and fall, just trying to stay out of the mess.
Yeah, definitely one of those things. Staying out of the mess here tonight, bringing home a podium finish, 2nd place here tonight, Jimmy. And I'm going to give you the microphone. The floor is all yours. Thank you. We'd like to thank you this evening.
Well, first of all, I want to send thanks out to the guys at ASRacing for putting us on for you guys at Velocity. But I want to say I'm sorry to hear about Papa Gooch passing on. I used to race with him back some years ago, and he was always a great guy, always very friendly, always willing to give a cheer up when you need it. Just a great guy. So I was really sorry to hear about that, and just glad to be a part of this tonight. to pay a tribute to him. Thanks.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, picking up second place here this evening is the number 48, Jimmy Johnson, picking up the second place finish here tonight, Phil. But I'm going to throw it down to Victory Lane, to you, Phil, who normally doesn't get to go to Victory Lane that often, but I sent him down there because I'm being lazy tonight. So, Phil, go down there.
All right, I'm down here in BladeNo.com, Victory Lane, and we find an old friend down here. Truck number 7, Nelson Rodriguez, ASR Postal. Nelson, tremendous job here tonight. Right place and right time for you, and somehow you maintain yourself. You missed the corners there in that last lap. Congratulations, buddy. A big win here at Daytona. This one's going to mean a lot to you on a very special night.
Yeah, thank you very much, Phil. I mean, this is a big win for me. TV race for Papa Gooch. Papa Gooch was a staple of ASR racing. We're going to miss him a ton. I mean, it's just hard to imagine him not being around with us. But I do want to shout out to the Ragucci family, that everybody here at ASR are having all of you guys in our prayers, and that hopefully you guys can have some solace knowing that there's a lot of people who love him and will miss him.
You have that absolutely right. I know all of us over here at Full Velocity World, the ASR group, the entire community as a whole is going to miss old Papa Gooch. He was a great guy. He always had some great stories to tell. And you as well there, Postal, always have a really good truck. You had to bide your time all night long. There was a lot of carnage out there around your truck tonight. Somehow, some way, you kept the fender straight in that thing when a lot of trucks didn't. And you find yourself on the outside of this thing looking in, and all of a sudden, here you are up front leading this thing, coming to 2 to go. I mean, what was going through your head, knowing those guys behind you were going to try to make one more bid for the race win? As we saw Don back there with a good truck. We saw Gary was back there for a little while. Stanley, anytime Stanley's around the front of the field, he always going to have a guy, an eye on him. So what were you thinking, seeing those guys behind you, knowing it was a TV race and all, and they were going to make one more dive move there for the race win? What were you thinking there, seeing those guys out your mirror?
Well, I knew it would be a tough finish. I knew if I could win it, that would be a big one, because there was some really good drivers behind me, and I seen the inside lane working a little bit. But I was really lucky to have Stanley behind me, and he was just he banged up my rear bumper. I don't think there's anything left of that thing, but he kept me going, pushing me through, and I want to thank Stan for helping me get this win, because without a partner, you just can't win these things. They're pretty tough, and you really got to have some patience.
You really, really do. Well, a guy who exercises a lot of patience here tonight, the number 7, ASR Postal, Nelson Rodriguez. Nelson, I give you the floor one more time. Our big winner here tonight on a very special night. I know it's all about Papa Gooch and his family and everybody, his memory out here tonight, but also the people out there watching had a great time over on YouTube tonight. Any friends or family that may be watching on your end, anybody you want to say hello to or thank there, my friend? The floor is like yours. Take it away. Once again, congratulations on a big race win here tonight. Terrific job.
Well, I want to end this night with what Papa Gooch used to say to us every night when he finished racing, and that was, "You boys be good tonight." Thank you, Papa Gooch. We miss you, and we love you.
Absolutely right. Well, that is a classy gesture from a classy guy down here in BladeNo.com, Victory Lane. ASR Postal, Nelson Rodriguez, number 7, brings the home in Victory Lane here tonight. So we'll let these guys stay down here and celebrate. And Todd, I'll throw it back up to you upstairs. A very special night for the guys at ASR. I'm hoping next time I come over here, it's for us a good old-fashioned good race, because we've seen a lot of these guys recently. And unfortunately, it's been for races like for Papa Gooch and for Smoke and for Waco a couple of weeks ago. So the ASR guys, they've had some really tough losses here in the last year, and I'm hoping we come back here next time for not a memorial race, for just a good old-fashioned good hard race. These guys do a lot of it 7 days a week, and I really love coming and cover this league. DC and Bergie and Nelson, Greg, Gary, the entire gang over here. Don't forget Stanley. Terrific gentlemen. They do a lot for us behind the scenes. They are a great group to work with, and it's always good to come and cover these guys, and I'm glad we get to come over here tonight and be a part of this here for Papa Gooch, because he was an outstanding fella.
Yeah, definitely an outstanding fella, and definitely one of those things we like to do, coming over here. Hopefully not for any more memorial races. We love doing the memorial races, but then again, like you said, we've had a lot of them as of late, and that's never a good thing to say, for the least, as losing another member of the NASCAR 2003 community, and That's not something we want to hear, but it's good to promote his memory and everything that went on here. A great race here, a great ending to this race here tonight, Phil. It was definitely worth the price here tonight. If you were out there watching, obviously you don't pay anything, but it's one of those things, Phil. I mean, you had to be watching this. If you're watching it here in replay, obviously you enjoyed the race or you were a part of the race. Again, make sure you send out shout outs here to ASR, and if you'd like to join up with ASR, it's ASRacing N2K3.net. That's their website, ASRacing N2K3.net. That would be their website. You go ahead and join these guys up. Great group of guys over here. Cannot say so much about them. You can't say, there's just so much to say about these guys over here. 7 days a week, like you said, Phil. I mean, for NASCAR 2-3 to still be going that strong, between the two leagues that we have, Phil, both those leagues go strong each and every night.
Yes, they absolutely do. We're looking forward to coming back over here to ASR. Of course, many more races on the docket over our buddies at Hobo Racing, including tomorrow night live, the Voiles Trucking Hobo Cup Series live on the airwaves, 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern time there. So check out the gang at Hobo, as we're going to see many of them here on a Tuesday night in the next couple of months, thanks to Kathy and Brian Voiles for coming aboard on the sponsorship and sponsoring that great series. We're looking really forward to that and making a home here in our 2003 like we have done for a long time. And also back on the air this week over at DWR for season number 6 of Wednesday Night Street Fights kicking off this week, as well as dates at Cyber Thunder coming up here on Thursday. So a lot of racing here left to go this week. Head over to the web base of Full Velocity Radio or Full Velocity Racing Network. FullVelocityTV.com is where you can find us online to book a show, check out our calendar and all the great stuff going on over there. A lot of news stories get posted over the course of the week as well. So make sure to check us out and check out our sponsors as well, of course. Hanover Record Service, iRacing iFlag, Voiles Trucking, BladeNode.com, South Texas Speedway, Montstar Productions, TDR Racing League, Hard Motorsports, Evil One Graphics, Trash Panda Graphics, and Full Throttle with the Gent for the entire group over here at ASR and the entire Full Velocity Racing family. Martin Karch, Ron Piles, Jack Truan, my buddy Todd Stanton. Got to thank Brett Rolls for coming aboard tonight here and helping me out on the iRacing side of things. Phil LeCast going to sign off here for the evening. Thank you so much for watching us over here tonight with a YouTube Live exclusive on the Papa Gooch Carl Ragucci Memorial. Papa Gooch, rest in peace, our friend. We'll miss you dearly. We'll see you next time here live on your Sorcery Sports Racing. Good night.
Good night.